Hey, it's Mike. I am back. I'm ready to go. Let's see what we're doing here. What do we got? Oh, Eliana with all the prayers. Good to see you, my moderator. Give Eliana a big hand for all the prayers. I can't go through all the prayers, but thank you so much. Yes, like, share, and subscribe to the Good Rice. It's the Good Rice. So everybody, and we got, a voice down under. Thank you for being here. Everyone, go subscribe if you haven't already to A Voice Down Under, and Fake Human with the Good Rice, absolutely. And okay, great. So I want to get right to the opening because I got a lot of stuff I want to show you. I want to talk about, and I got a new opening. So keep your eyes open for this new opening. Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. So thanks for sticking that up. And what do we got here? We got Jenna Morton. Hey, thanks for joining us, Jenna. Good to see you. And we got From a Poet 8105. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. Thanks for joining us today. And yes, we got the snotting in the rag is what we do. That's what they do. That's not what I do. But that's what evidently that's what they do. So hey, since we got the new opening with Hot Lips there, and I this guy keeps talking. He's talking about me. I know he's talking about me right now. But it's good that he's watching because that means he's hearing about cults, and that was the whole point, is for him to hear about cults, hear his people to hear about cults, for everybody to hear about cults, because not enough people know that Hare Krishna is a cult. Hey, Central Arkansas. Good to see you, Central Arkansas. Nice opening, Mike. Yeah, I thought I saw that Hot Lips was snotting in the rag, just like he was. So I thought, let me put that's hilarious to me. But that just goes to show you, if your guru is snotting in a rag, then you got to snot in a rag too. I mean, that's just it. I mean, seriously, I don't know. It's hilarious. It's really hilarious. Okay, let me see. What was the first thing I wanted to show? Okay, so speaking of this Snot Nanda, this Gaurahari character, he wants to talk about, I don't know, he feels like he's trying to preach. He feels like he needs to preach to me. Like he needs to preach. But I don't, but I found out a little bit. I came across this video. I came across this other idiot talking about Gaurahari. So I thought I'd share it with you. I know, snot in a rag. Snot in a rag. What can you say? So let me show you this real quick.
Right now, I wanted to give you an update on some research I've been doing over the last week
on Gaudiya Vaishnavism in the UK and the discovery of a new group or Sangha or mat that has some activity in the UK. I'm often a bit wary of using this word group because the word group can mean something formal and actually it may not be formal, and often people get a bit freaked out by the word group because they think it has to have some organization and not necessarily it does. So I'm grateful to Gaurahari Haridas in Birmingham, my dear friend, for sharing some information with me. He's certainly got his ear to the ground and knows what's going on. I wanted to talk to you a bit today about an a Sangha called the Sri Chaitanya Grace Place. And it's run by a devotee of Krishna called Srila Gaurahari Haridas. So those of you that have not heard of Srila Gaurahari Haridas, I'm going to give you a very brief update if I possibly can. So Srila Gaurahari Haridas, in the late 70s, as a young man, in his early 20s, was searching, was looking for God, was looking for answers to life, and he read the Book of John. So the Book of John is in the Bible, in the Christian Bible. It's one of the Gospels. John is believed to be, just a bit of information here, John is believed to be one of the disciples of Jesus.
Oh my goodness! You know what I forgot to do? I forgot this. I forgot this. So this is Gaurahari's magical mystery story, but it's told by this joker. it's Gaurahari's magical mystery story as told by this joker. And what do we got? We got Rafal. Good to see you, Rafal. Sadananda Acharya is on defense. Absolutely a joke. I know he doesn't. Listen to this because I don't know if you've heard this. Oh, hey, yeah, all right. I mean, I'm mind. Yeah, he's trying to. Snodyananda is trying to validate his worth by preaching to Mike via his board sleepovers with hot lips, wet lips, and sleepy with a yawning man. Yeah, he's trying. Well, actually, he's trying to preach to them. I think he's trying to keep them from having doubts. You know, that's what I think. He's directing it at me, but I think he's trying to reinforce to them, that I'm, he's right and I'm wrong. So he's trying to defend. He's definitely trying to defend himself. So here is his magical mystery story, as told by this Narada Das on the Hare Krishna project webpage. So let's continue with the magical mystery story. Let's see. There we go.
And I think the youngest of all the disciples. So he read the Book of John, and also he read the books of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. He was really inspired by Srila Prabhupada's books, so he decided to go and meet Prabhupada. This was the late 70s in America. By the time he got there, this is what it says on the official biography of Srila Gaurahari Haridas. By the time he got there, I assume somewhere in America, Srila Prabhupada had already left the planet, so this was after November 1977. And Srila Gaurahari Haridas was upset that he didn't get to meet Srila Prabhupada in the flesh. But nevertheless, he decided to join ISKCON, and he moved into the local ISKCON temple, Hare Krishna temple. And as was the custom at the time in ISKCON, he took initiation from the zonal acharya at the time, the zonal acharya.
Of course, this is embellished. I don't believe it's as romanticized as he's making as Gaurahari wants you to make it out. But still, nonetheless, We'll go on.
guru, so the Zonacharya guru was Tamakrishna Maharaj, so he became a disciple of his. However, Srila Gaurahari Haridas wasn't feeling inspired. He wasn't feeling fulfilled being in ISKCON, and he felt, according to his biography, that the teachings of Srila Prabhupada weren't being represented in ISKCON, so he decided to leave ISKCON. His official biography then reports that as soon as he left ISKCON,
so he couldn't follow, and he couldn't be a disciple of Tamal Krishna. He took initiation from Tamal Krishna, which he wants to say, well, it was the zonal thing, and I had to. No, you didn't have to. Again, with the holy man that's forced to do something he didn't want to do. Hey, Ghana, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I think you're right. If he knows he's guilty of scamming, he knows it's all bullshit. He knows he's not making these people laugh and cry and giggle and all that stuff. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So here, let's so let's get back. So what I would say was, he took initiation from Tamal Krishna. So right there, that just tells me, it just says, okay, you were brainwashed. You joined ISKCON, and then you left. You were disillusioned, so you left. So you blooped. You blooped, or you disobeyed the order of your guru. You want to criticize me, but he wants to criticize me. For leaving ISKCON. Well, you disobeyed the order of your guru. You took initiation, took vows, whatever, and you broke those vows by leaving. You quit serving Tamal. Okay, and then listen to this. Let's go back a little bit, because you got to hear this entirety here. So he's initiated by Tamal, and then he gets disillusioned, which that's what he says, and now he's going to leave.
Represented in ISKCON, so he decided to leave ISKCON. His official biography then reports that as soon as he left ISKCON, he started to have these ecstatic experiences of God or Krishna. He started to dance ecstatically and have these devotional experiences of God.
So he wasn't feeling it in ISKCON, but as soon as he left ISKCON, then that's when he started dancing in an ecstasy and having this devotional experiences of God. Not when he was in ISKCON, following Prabhupada's instructions. He had to leave. He had to leave and then experience.
And in 1996, Srila Prabhupada appeared to him in a dream, a very clear dream, and said he was happy with.
It was a very clear dream. In case any of you. He appeared to him in a dream. It was a very clear dream. He said he was happy. Prabhupada said he was happy with him.
Approach that Srila Gaurahari Haridas was taking. He was happy with his service, happy with what he was doing, and he wanted him to carry on this service for Srila Prabhupada. Gaurahari Haridas was experiencing and teaching and sharing this idea of Raganuga Bhakti. So anyone who's unsure what Raganuga.
So this is what I feel. This is what I think. This is what I think. And if Gaurahari is watching, you loser. If you're watching, dude, you're a loser, man. You're a bigger loser than I thought you were before. You're a bigger loser than I thought you were. Than I already thought you were. And I thought you were a pretty big loser. And now you're even bigger loser, because I know you're a Tamal Krishna disciple. And then you had a dream. It was a very clear dream. It was clear. Are we clear? We're clear. Are we clear? Are we clear?
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
That was Prabhupada.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
That's
Are we
Prabhupada.
clear?
Prabhupada talking to Gaurahari. He's like, "Are we clear? Am I clear? Is this dream clear? Okay, are we clear?" It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny.
I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like
Not
dumb.
dumb.
I'm smart and I want respect.
Oh, it is so fucking stupid. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
It means kind of ecstatic love of Krishna, ecstatic love of God, prema bhakti, this idea that we can experience Krishna, Radha Krishna, through his ecstatic devotional experiences and even trances, you may say, similar to the trances of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he appeared 500 years ago.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be joking. You gotta be joking. I would ask this guy. I'd say, "Do you believe this? You're a devotee. Do you believe this? Do you believe this?"
So, his Raganuga Bhakti approach was supported by Srila Prabhupada in this dream in 1996. So how does this relate to the UK? Because my research is only on Gaudiya Vaishnavism in the UK. Well, I have discovered that Srila Gaurahari Haridas has disciples in the UK, and not only that, he has recently been in the UK.
So when did he become so he became a guru because he had a dream of Prabhupada. If that isn't the biggest pile of shit, that's like he couldn't even do it. He you know what? This is what you did, you fuck. You scamming piece of shit. You joined ISKCON, you took one look at Tamal Krishna and you said, "I want to be him. I want to be that guy. I can do that. Why should I be bowing down at this guy's feet and washing his feet and drinking that water and throwing flowers and all this shit at him? I want to be that guy." And so you left. Fucking scammer. Ain't nothing but a big fucking scam. He's like, what is it?
I can dance. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
I can dance. I can dance. I can dance.
I can dance. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
Yay! I'm Gaurahari. Yay! That's a joke. Okay. Let's get down to serious business. 1996, centennial year of Prabhupada. Dream, coincidence. It's so laughable. It's so incredible. It's cult leader. It's the cult leader. He couldn't make it. He couldn't make it just as somebody in ISKCON. Like he couldn't do it. He couldn't just be in ISKCON, be a disciple of Tamal, and then eventually become apply for a sannyas, and then apply. He didn't want to wait. He didn't want to do that. He's like, fuck that. I want to be. He's got such a big ego. He's like, I don't want to be a devotee. I want to be a guru. I want to be Tamal. He took one look at Tamal and said, I can do that. Fake it till you dream it. Dream it. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I'm saying I had fake it till you dream it. Yeah, I know I've said this a bunch of times. You guys are tired of hearing it. I had dinner with Tamal. I took one look. I had dinner with Tamal, and I spent I spent the whole day filming the guy. I spent 2 days. I spent 2 days filming him, and then when we were done, we had dinner with him in his room, in his room. Me, Sringananda, Abhiram, and Tamal Krishna. So I spent 2 days filming this guy while he was doing this stuff with kids and a play, and he's lecturing and all this stuff. And so I got to see him, play guru, cosplay as this guru. I got to see him interact. He interacted with us, like he was guru. He played guru. He was always playing guru. But then when we had dinner, he wasn't playing guru anymore. Now he was Thomas Herzog or whatever the fuck his name is. And and I could see through that shit. It was like 50-50 Swami. He was like, he wasn't the Tamal that was out there in front of everybody, in front of his disciples. Now it was Tamal in front of Nishringananda and Abhiram and me. There's some guy he doesn't know, this from LA. He doesn't give a fuck about me. But he felt comfortable enough where he could just act like the asshole that he was. This is a regular guy. You met Prabhupada at age 7, shook his hand, sat with him for a few hours. Well, you and the Gurukula? That's really sad that you were... Message for girl. I know what you did about last summer. Boom, 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 boom. Yay! You do it, then you'll know. It's so funny. Okay, so let me get rid of this guy. Hey, don't spill the good rice. Don't spill the good rice. Okay. Careful with that good rice, Eugene. All right, so now let's do some cult education. This is for all you people out there that are in the cult. You're in the Hare Krishnas, or you're thinking about joining the Hare Krishnas, or someone you know is joining the Hare Krishnas, or whatever it is. Maybe you're in it and you want to leave, and you're researching online. You found this, and you're like, "What is this?" And yeah, he probably deserves some scrutiny. All those guys are not innocent of anything. I don't know if they poisoned him, but they're not innocent of anything. I mean, those guys are scumbags. I wouldn't put anything past them. I don't know. I don't think they poisoned him, but I wouldn't put it past them if they did. Personally, I don't think they did, but 50-50 Swami, they could have done 50-50, you know what I mean? That's basically it, 50-50. If I had to bet, it's even money. 50-50. Okay. So this is about cults in general. This is cult education time. We're going to learn about cults from Knitting Cult Lady.
So the truth is, nobody ever joins a cult. Not by accident, not on purpose. Nobody joins a cult. Here's what I say about it in Uncultured, my book. People don't join cults. They join churches, organizations, communities, and groups they think will solve a problem for the world or within themselves. They follow leaders. The more charismatic, the better. Maybe they're driven by hope, or maybe it's fear. Maybe it's a combination of the two, strengthened by the fuel of righteousness and often resentment. And then the logic breaks down, but we're too tightly enthralled to the cults among us to notice. The first rule of cults is we are never in a cult. It's always them, not us. There's always someone else to blame, the others, the outsiders, the unchosen. And as belief builds in its followers, the less likely we are to question, the easier it is to hate, harm, even kill, because we are the good guys. We are right, no matter how many signs point in a different direction or how that direction shifts with the course of the wind. Right? And it's funny being in like the ex-cult space, because you'll say, I grew up in a cult, and sometimes people will be like, are you still in it? Like, no. Nobody that's in a group calls it a cult. If they're doing it jokingly, that's a warning sign. But like, you only know it's a cult when you're on your way leaving, or usually after you've left whatever church, organization, and you're trying to understand the experience that you've had. People join cults because cult leaders build cults, and then deceptive recruiters go out and trick and lie to them and love bomb them and pull them into cults. Usually they have something going on, right? They've moved recently and they're going through a depression, or one of their parents has passed on, or something, Margaret Singer of Cult Studies says you just have to have two different things going on in your life and then come across a cult recruiter, and that can be all she wrote, right? But it's nobody joins a cult. Never has happened. I'm Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership, and you can get a signed copy of my book, Uncultured, about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and then going into the cult of the U.S. Army, attached here. So
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that nobody joins a cult. Nobody wakes up and goes, "I want to join a cult. I want to cosplay as a 14th century, 15th century Bengali, medieval Bengali religious fanatic in Bengal, chant Hare Krishna and follow this epileptic, mentally ill Chaitanya guy." No, and hate everybody and believe all these weird things, and nobody does that. So and because nobody does that, people that are in cults, like she said, they don't realize they're in it, and even when they leave, they still have, a lot of people still haven't processed what's happened. Like I've said many times, a lot of people just leave and they just go, "Well, I'm not doing that anymore. Oh, I'm not following the four." That's what you hear a lot. He's not following the four regulative principles. I'm not engaged. I'm a fringy or whatever. Is the biggest cosplaying event in the entire world. I know it. John, I hope you don't have bad nightmarish dreams when this failed chemist hunts you 7 years old. Yeah, I hope you don't have, like, Gaurahari. It's weird that, like, that Prabhupada comes to Gaurahari in a dream. And out of all of the devotees, all of his disciples, he picks a Tamal disciple to reveal himself in a dream. I mean, Gaurahari has really got to feel special. He's got to really feel like he's special that Prabhupada came to him in a dream. He's on his own magical mystery story. The guy. Yeah, it's good that you never joined, especially being around that young, 7 years old, and meeting Prabhupada and all that. I mean, they could have snatched you up and stuck you in the Gurukula, and you wouldn't have had a choice. You had no choice in the matter. That's kind of scary. Okay, so here's another good one. This is the cult education part of the show, which I might have to make an opening for, make a little bumper. Again, this is Knitting Cult Lady. Here we go.
If you were in a cult, you've definitely had your personality erased in some way. This is one of the defining features of a high control group. And if you grew up in a cult, you probably didn't ever get a chance to form a personality. That is a realization that I had to have. So this comment says, "So I was in a cult throughout my teenage years," which of course are part of your formative years, "up to early university. And basically what happened was that I had identity erasure, and now I don't even know who I am outside the cult. But basically the identity that was only getting to be formed was erased and made into a cult pseudo-identity and pseudo-personality. Now, good on you for recognizing this, because the pseudo personality, the pseudo identity, that is a major, major part of what happens to you when you go into a cult. And if you are born and raised in a cult, or if you are in a cult during your formative years, it's really, really important, because you never got to form your own identity. That is a realization I had to have, and it was after I had already written my first book, Uncultured, my memoir of growing up in the Children of God religious cult and going into the cult of the U.S. Army. I was mostly done with a master's degree in organizational psychology. I had just done a whole semester on social identity theory, right? How we behave in groups. And that was when I realized out loud, oh, I never got to form a personal identity. And the good news about that is you can then go do it, right? And it's not even that scary. You just have to ask yourself what you actually like and what you actually want to do and be when you grow up, and those kinds of things. It can be a very rewarding journey. And in fact, oh, got the little puppy. Sorry, I guess we get a puppy tax now. Here's the Republican dog. In fact, one of the things I did along with my new book, The Culting of America, which is my tactics book and shows you how they do this. It's all through self-sacrifice, by the way, whole chapter on that. I built a workbook, Unculture Yourself, a workbook for reclaiming your mind. This is to help us take off that pseudo-identity and pseudo-personality, plus the ideology that the cult makes you adopt, and help you work through your own intentionally and on purpose. Very important work to do, very hard work to do, but very important and very rewarding. And one tip that I will give you for sure is that appearance control, which is always about behavior control, and attitude control are two really important parts of cults. We have stuff on that in the book, of course. So wearing wacky outfits, right? Whatever that means to you, in my opinion, is an extremely
So I just want to say, Mr. Herzog very fast realized that what his mission, quickly divorced, took sannyas. Yeah, he immediately realized, I think all of those guys, they all wanted to be Prabhupada. They wanted to be that guy. They wanted to be that guy, and it's part of the brainwashing. It's part of that, I'm a super white Hindu. I mean, what else? That's what Prabhupada's teaching them. What Prabhupada's teaching you in the books. You're a super white Hindu. You read my books and you become a super white Hindu. So naturally, Tamal and all of those guys, Yashoda and all of them, they all thought they were, and Gaurahari too. He thinks he's in disciplic succession. He's nothing. He's nobody. He's nothing. But yeah, bare minimum workout, bare minimum workout. Like what? You read Prabhupada's books, and now you're a super white Hindu. And that's all you got to do. Like you don't even have to like write any papers or do a thesis or take any just read Prabhupada's books. Distribute Prabhupada's books. Sit on a little stool and lecture like you know something. Fake it till you're Vedic. Anybody can do it. I'm still recovering from reading Prabhupada's room conversation about women's freedom. There's a bunch of them. I don't know how many you've read, but there's a bunch of them. Yeah. I heard about. Yeah, I don't know if it was for talking to his ex-wife, so he had to kill himself for talking. I think it was deeper than that, but so I just wanted to say. So somebody the other night, I think it was I want to miss all these. I'm backed up on comments, and I don't want to miss any trolls. If anybody wants to, I mean, I don't mean to say trolls, but we get a lot of trolls from any new people, if you're a new person out there, you can comment. I don't mean to call you a troll, but if you're trolling, you can comment too. But somebody was asking me the other night about how I became a Hare Krishna, and I have to, now that Knitting Cult Lady, it explains about identity and all of that, which I didn't, at the time, I didn't understand. So when I left the Hare Krishnas in 2012, towards the end of 2012, so 13, 14. So I didn't know what I was gonna. When I first left, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was 50 years old, and I wasn't going back to school. I had a job. I'd had a job. I'd quit my job because I was taking care of my mother. She was terminally ill, so I was taking care of my mother, and I had quit my job. And I had moved out of the community. So when I left, when I decided I wasn't going to be a devotee anymore, I took the beads off and everything. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I really felt lost. I didn't know who I was. I wasn't. I was the same guy I was when I was 30, but I wasn't 30, and I didn't have. I wasn't. My brain was messed up now. My brain was messed up. Everything was Maya and material nature and demoniac and all of that stuff. So now it was, I didn't know what to do. And like Knitting Cult Lady said, I was like, what, who am I? What am I going to do? I just have this job. And that's when I realized that, I was just working a job just so I could be a devotee and pay my rent. I didn't have any career. All the things that I had wanted to do, I had just nothing. So I was no different. I was no different than my roommate Vadi Raj, who was just driving a taxi. I was no different than a taxi driver. I was just working, I was working American Express or whatever I was doing, but it felt the same as, because I had no reason to be doing that other than it was a job. It was like driving a taxi. So I was really lost for I'd say I was kind of lost for about 2 years. For about 2 years before I was like, you know what, I think I want to try and get into comedy. I don't know why, I knew I was funny, so I figured, why not get into comedy? So that's how I got into doing comedy. I went to a little comedy workshop place, and I took a class, and then we got up on stage in Hollywood at the Laugh Factory, and I did really good. I did really good. So I was like, well, you know what? I guess I'm gonna pursue this comedy thing, and that's what I did. And I just been doing comedy for the last 10 years. But because I left the Hare Krishnas, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was just, for 2 years, I was just kind of like, who am I and what am I doing? I'm not Sri Mukunda. And I got all this free time. I mean, I had like 20 hours. I had like 20 free hours a day now. It was crazy. Yeah, that's we all have our story. Yeah, we all felt lost after leaving ISKCON and the Hare Krishna movement due to how our identity and self-worth was tied to their cult organization. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to share my story, because I was like, I was definitely lost for like 2 years. It's kind of a weird, I wouldn't say lost, but I'd say kind of like in limbo. I just felt like, just kind of like, well, what do I do now? What am I going to do now? And it took me some time to figure it out. It was it was really weird. It was weird. So okay, so that's how they take your personality from you and give you this fake personality, so you can run around and call yourself Sri Mukunda or Tamal Krishna or Gaurahari Haridas or whoever, and you're somebody. I get, I get it. It's that's part of the brain. That's part of the brainwashing. That's part of the brainwashing. Hey, Lochan, good to see you. Glad to see you. You landed here. What are you saying? Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear how other people have the same issue I did. I want to feel normal. I want to feel like what I went through is totally normal. 100%. I really struggled. My ex-girlfriend in Malaysia was very helpful. Took a long time to function in society again. Yeah, I had no problem functioning in society, but I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any social life, really. Nothing seemed fun. Like movies didn't, because I wasn't going to movies, so movies didn't seem, even now, still, movies didn't seem fun, and nothing seemed fun. Just nothing seemed fun because I conditioned myself not to want to do anything for 20 years. For 20 years, I didn't want to go on hikes. I didn't want to, the only thing I did was I kind of played the guitar now and then, that was it. But like hiking or sports or, tinkering with artistic tinkering around, creating stuff, like whatever. I lost interest in everything. And I guess that's probably why I got into comedy, because I'm just naturally like funny, cracking jokes, making jokes. That comes as so natural to me that was never going to go. I never lost that. And I had to suppress that in the Hare Krishnas, because you can't make jokes. You can't be offensive. You can't joke about Krishna or Chaitanya or other devotees or there's no joking. Cults, there's no. You can laugh at karmis. That's fine. You can laugh about karmis and you can laugh about the material nature. You can laugh about all that, but you can't make fun of anything that's devotional or Krishna. So I really felt stifled, and I guess that's probably why I got into. That's why I probably just like jumped right into the comedy thing, and that's what I was doing. So if anybody interested, I don't know who asked me that question, but anyway, I figured it was an apropos time to tell that story. I think I got one more from. Yeah, this is a good one. I got one more from a Canadian cult lady. And here we go.
Today for Devotions with Daniela, we are reading from the second book of Daniela, The Culting of America, What Makes a Cult and Why We Love Them. This is The Psychology of Groupthink and Mass Movements, from the chapter on us versus them mentality. Today's movements, from hashtag Black Lives Matters to Trumpian populism, from evangelical Christianity to alternative wellness, operate in a digital world where ideas spread faster than ever and groupthink is amplified by social media algorithms. Mass movements no longer require physical gatherings or a single charismatic leader. They only need a compelling narrative, a strong in-group identity, and a shared enemy. The Black Lives Matter protests of 2020 showcased the power of decentralized movements. Millions of people rallied against police brutality without a single leader, unified instead by viral footage and collective outrage. Meanwhile, the January 6th insurrection was an example of how us versus them rhetoric, combined with mass disinformation and a charismatic figure, Trump, could drive people to violent extremism. Both movements reveal the same underlying truth. When people feel like they're part of something greater than themselves, and when they believe an enemy is threatening their way of life, they will go to extraordinary lengths to defend their cause. From the American...
So, I always think back, and it's not an exaggeration. It's not. I think back to Henry Doktorsky, who wrote that book, Killing for Krishna. And he said in that interview, he admitted that everybody in New Vrindavan was brainwashed, and that everybody that he would have killed if they had came and asked him to go and shoot this guy in the van, he would have done it. He said he would have done it. He said probably anybody there would have done it. He says they were all brainwashed. And if that's not Jim Jones like, if that's not exactly what she's talking about, I don't know what is. And that's the truth. I mean, you think of all these different cults where, like Jim Jones, the January 6th people attacking the Capitol, the Hale-Bop people, Waco, those people in those people in Japan that let off that gas in the subway. That was a cult. That was some kind of weird cult that did that. So many. This is the danger. This is the danger of this these cult leaders and brainwashing, and you think it's harmless, and I don't think I would have ever. Well, I don't think if they had asked me to kill somebody, I don't think I would have done it. I know I wouldn't have done it but I think I know people that would have done it. I think some of the people that I knew at the LA Temple, they would have done it.
Revolution to white nationalism, mass movements often follow the same pattern. They thrive on a binary mindset, a sense of moral high ground, and our deep need to fit in. Whether these movements drive progress or cause harm hinges on what happens when critical thinking bumps up against group identity. Because once a movement reaches the point where asking questions is risky, it's veering into cult territory. At the heart of every mass movement is groupthink, a psychological phenomenon observed by American psychologist Irving Janis during his analysis of the Bay of Pigs fiasco, where seemingly smart people collectively made very bad decisions. Groupthink occurs when people's desire for group cohesion overrides their critical thinking, leading to irrational or dysfunctional outcomes.
So right there, I think to these Gaurahari people who, when confronted with the pedophile, confronted with child marriage, they went along with it. They said, no, it's okay. And they started to defend it because they were in a group. And the group think was that the leader, Gaurahari, was saying it's okay. Pedophilia is okay. Child marriage is okay. It's cultural. It's whatever excuse he wanted to give. And because they were in a group, they're in a cult, and this group think, they all wanted to think the same. They didn't want to. Nobody wanted to stand out and say, "Hey, I'm not down." No, they all of them just went right. Oh yeah, sure, it's okay, no problem.
The 8 symptoms of groupthink described below are adapted from Janis's work on decision-making failures. Perceived invulnerability. Overconfidence leads the group to take dangerous or reckless actions. That's why the intelligence officer's job in the military is always to get people to think about what if you fail. Rationalization and denial. The group dismisses warnings and avoids reevaluating flawed beliefs. People don't like to listen to the intelligence officer. Moral justification. The group assumes its actions are inherently good, ignoring possible ethical issues. We've seen this on the left as well as the right in our politics. Stereotyped views of others/enemies. Outsiders are seen in overly simplistic negative terms, which reduces the need for thoughtful engagement. And that's part of why we have to be so careful about dehumanizing language, like maggots. Silencing dissent. Members who disagree are pressured to conform and not speak out. 6, internal suppression. Individuals keep quiet about their own doubts or concerns to avoid disrupting harmony. 7, false consensus. A lack of voiced disagreement is mistaken for unanimity among members. And 8, self-designated mind guards. Some members take it upon themselves to block dissenting views or information that might disrupt group unity. Like the 10 aspects of cult behavior I outline in this book, these 8 symptoms of groupthink are pervasive in groups of all kinds to varying degrees. Whether in a cult, A mainstream religion, a small town, a social movement, a financial bubble, or a high school clique, I would bet that everyone has at some point participated in groupthink. Humans are social creatures, wired to seek approval and avoid rejection. So it's easy to get swept up in what everyone else seems to be doing. The key is in recognizing when the stability of the group requires conformity in order to operate. When individuality is suppressed in favor of consensus. If your group movement cannot function without silencing dissent, rejecting diverse opinions, or squashing critical discussion, then it might be time for you to go. If it's valid, it stands up to scrutiny.
That and again, I feel like that's all of those things are exactly what's going on in Hare Krishna and specific in general with ISKCON and Hare Krishna because it's a cult, but with this Gaurahari group in particular, specifically the groupthink where they don't speak up. They don't speak up when they're confronted with the pedophilia and they're confronted with the teachings. They're confronted with the books, what it says, with the conversations. Even if they have doubts, they're not going to say it. They're going to keep it inside. They're not going to disrupt the group. They're going to go along with everything. They want to keep harmony, unity, all of that. Let's see. What did I miss here? Yeah, he's the only one who's realized and moved out of this cult. But you know what? He's still, and he has the heart to have a memorial for. He's still, he's still. I don't know. He still has connections with ISKCON. He's out, but he has connections with them. He's still connected with. I had time to listen to Hare Krishna. Yeah, he had a breakdown in '98, and he resigned and never looked back. But now he still thinks he's some kind of, I don't know. He's not Robert Campagnolia. He's Hari now or whatever. So he's still messed up in the head. There was a conspiracy to kill some landowner in India because Prabhupada wanted the property. Yeah, I heard there was some. I heard they had some dealings with some land mafia. Land mafia is big in India. I heard he had to deal with some stuff. I don't know any details about that. Prabhupada wanted a landlord killed in Mumbai because he didn't want to give land for temple to be built. Such a demon was. I didn't know about that. I don't know if. I don't know if I read it and they kind of whitewashed it or what, but hey, so what was he saying? So what was he saying about me? I'm curious what he was saying about me because I'm the cult guy and he's the cult leader. So I was just curious. I'm just curious what he had to say. Andy, holy, how dare you talk about Krishna like that or Buddha? What'd I say about Buddha, Andy? What'd I say about Buddha? Are you saying, how dare I, like I'm really courageous, like I have a lot of courage to talk about Krishna or Buddha? What did I say about Buddha, though? What did I say about Buddha? Excuse me. My dad almost kicked me out of the house because I said fuck Krishna. That's funny. See, this is what I mean. Why did you leave? Why did you leave our group? What group are you talking about? Andy Holy. Why did you leave our group? What group are you talking about? Andy, You want to have a conversation? Have a conversation. What? Why did you leave? What group? What group did I leave? You've been really bad and you need to be punished. That's what I tell my girlfriend, but she doesn't listen to me. So so that's why he thought you were me. He was my, yeah, you know, he was showing my video and then talking to he's showing my video and then talking and then like I show his. So that's good. I mean, he's learning, he's watching and he's learning. Yeah, that is kind of crazy, you know. That is kind of crazy. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I don't mind you fucking with me, as long as I know you're fucking with me. If you're fucking with me, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind. What is? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But let me see. So we did knitting coat lady. Wait, what is this? What is this idiot saying? I'm so confused. Do you like Hare Krishna or do you go against it? If you don't like it, you don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to like it. In fact, I'm very much against it because it's a pedophile cult. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to expose the dangerous pedophile cult, how it ruins your mind, how it fucks up your life. That's what I'm doing. It's not a matter of like if I don't like it, don't join it. It's a dangerous cult. It's a dangerous cult. It's harmful. Hurts a lot of people. So it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with me. I was in it. I was in it for 20 years, so I already know. I know what it does to people. And everybody in this chat knows what it does to people. So I don't know what you're trying to say. You know, I think I've heard of that. The door, I think I've heard of that, but I don't know much about it. I was a Hare Krishna for 20 years. That's what I know about. But I'm against all cults, but I don't know about them. I just know about Hare Krishna. I mean, I know basic, but you know, as far as experience, I was in the Hare Krishnas for 20 years. So yeah, I think I heard somebody mention it. I think I heard one of these cult people mention it. And that's why it sounds familiar. But I don't know anything about it. But the names really sounds familiar. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. We're all ex Hare Krishnas here. We all understand it's a cult. If you don't understand it's a cult, then you need to just keep watching. That's that's basically what you need to do. Miss Jade 777. Are you against the chanting part 2? No, no, I'm against the pedophilia part. I'm against the child marriage part. I'm against the racism and the sexism part. If you want to chant, I don't care. You can chant whatever you want. But if you think it's connecting you to God, then I think you're wrong. But if it makes you happy, I think you should do it. If you want to chant and it makes you happy, I think you should do whatever makes you happy. But I think you should lay off the pedophilia and the child marriage. And I don't think you should be following anybody who's a racist, sexist, child marriage advocate, and all of that. That's what I'm against. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, chanting is no different than going to a drum circle or sitting there going, oh, you want to do that? Go ahead. I mean, just leave the kids alone. Leave the little kids alone. Leave the women alone. Don't smack them around and treat them like shit. Don't demonize everybody. That's fine. Miss Jade, are you asking me? I was in it for 20 years. We're nihilists. We hate everything. We hate everything, Lubowski. We're nihilists, Lubowski. We hate everything.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, you know, I'll look into it, but if it's a cult, then I would expect it to do all the same stuff. No, it's not. No, it's not that I had bad experience. It's a cult. That's why I'm here, okay? Because it has nothing to do with my experiences with the cult. It's a cult. That's what we're here to get clear. It's not, are we clear? Because we really need to get that clear.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
It's a cult. Everyone has a bad experience with it because it's a cult. It's a mind-controlling, life-sucking, mind-numbing cult. And it's abusive to their children. It's abusive to women. It's abusive to everybody. It has nothing to do with my bad experiences. You want to say, well, you just had a bad experience. So what about all the kids that had a bad experience? What about all the little girls that were married off? What about their bad experiences? You're going to individually say, well, all these individual bad experiences, thousands of them, thousands and thousands of individual experiences, bad experiences. That's how you want to look at it? I've never told you, years ago when I was like 4, my parents hosted Indra Yumna at our house and other devotees. Yeah, so your family was in it. You know, I'm glad that you're in here with us and you're able to like function like a normal person. You're able to, you know, I know your parents are devoted. I know it's a weird thing. I get it. I totally get it. My daughter was in it. My daughter was 6 years old when I brought her into it. So I get it, man. That's why these people can't, this guy, this bald Sid Mize or whatever, he wants to talk about my bad experiences, the bad experiences with my daughter. Like that's that's the exception. If you let your brain filter without labeling what can harm you or what can help you, then you are like the bamboo. This stuff, you know, that's the kind of shit where they want to mess up your head to the point where you can't think and understand anything. You're too confused with all their bullshit, you know? Right, exactly. That's what Palooza does, asking for free food and donations. You came here for the good rice? Yeah, well, we got lots of that. We got lots of good rice here. Absolutely. Help yourself. You know, help yourself to all the good rice you want. Has the whole world gone crazy? Has the whole world gone crazy?
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Okay, I want to finish up. So we're happily learning. We're having some pizza and learning about cults.
Regardless of how dysfunctional. I didn't care about losing the privilege of being a soldier in God's end time army, but I did wonder if they might be right about hell. I wondered if freedom was really worth all this uncertainty and the what ifs. Then heaven bounced off the couch and embraced me in a warm hug, with a friendliness that made me feel like we were more than stepsisters who'd only met a handful of times. Her red-brown hair swung around her shoulders, the dye and stylish cut announcing her as a real systemite. Her clothes clung to her curves, clearly bought specifically for her, not just another bunch of hand-me-downs like I wore. She was 10 years older than me and looked a bit like her half-sister, Raina, and a lot like Dad. I felt so lucky that she'd agreed to Dad's request to take me after I'd been excommunicated. "Welcome home," she said. "I'm so excited to have a sister to live with. It's lonely out here in the real world." She cast an eyes-averted glance at her father, then stood up straight, pressed him with an automatic kiss to his cheek, and took the suitcase from him. With over a decade since the leadership had split up their family to humble them, they were practically strangers, but she still knew how to act the soldier. I recognized the same children of God skill required of all us girls, the ability to plaster a smile on her face and talk to the uncles like they were the only important people on earth. "It's not fancy," she said, gesturing at the one-bedroom apartment. Mismatched mirrors covered the kitchen and dining room walls in an attempt to make the space feel larger than it was. "But it's all ours," she added with genuine glee. Like me, she had grown up without anything to call her own. But at 25, she had her own bathroom that she didn't have to share with the whole commune. Her own kitchen with a fridge she could open without having to ask for permission. Even though there was little space to walk in the tiny bedroom, there were only 2 mattresses on the floor instead of the dozens we'd both been used to in the bunkhouses of our youth. Heaven caught my eye for a moment, both of us trained in speaking without words.
You know, it sounds. She grew up in the Children of God, and it sounds like she grew up in an ashram. It sounds exactly the same. So what do we got? Aviator, tell your parents you know his former personal slave. That's so funny. That's so funny. See how it's a small world here, here at the Good Rice. Yeah, I did a whole video about him touching little girls. It's really disgusting. It's like one of the most disgusting videos out there. Well, Hare Krishna has been around for 15, 20 centuries. No, it hasn't. It hasn't been around for 15, 20 centuries. Yeah, in fact, we're going to talk about that as soon as I get done with the knitting cult lady. Let me see. So, I want to read to you a little bit about I'm going to do a bit of spying, Watford Temple in London. I want to see it for myself. Okay, be careful, all right? Just be careful. I'm serious, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Tread carefully. Yeah. Don't end up in jail because Hare Krishna doctrines, cult doctrines, are criminal. Yeah, absolutely. Trademark, good to see you here. Yeah, is Bengali pornography. Yeah, so I don't know. So I don't know who wrote this. I don't know who wrote this article, but there's this article on the Reddit, on the subreddit, the ex Hare Krishna subreddit, and it's really good. I'm going to read a little bit of it, and and we'll talk about it, especially since this character thinks it's 5,000 years old or 15,000 years old or however many years old he's. But here, this is pretty well written. And like I said, I'm not an expert in this stuff, and that's why when I read this article, I said, yeah, this sounds like what I can get behind this. So I thought I'd share it with you because this is pretty much what I think, or what I know, pretty much. So it says, one of the things that kept me in the Hare Krishna world for as long as it did was the way devotees played up the idea that everything we are doing was ancient, timeless, Vedic, coming down in a pristine, unbroken lineage stretching back 5,000 plus years. You hear that enough, and it just becomes the view you have of this otherwise 200 to 500-year-old cult. It's baked into everything. You're not just chanting or following a lifestyle, you're participating in something primordial, something that predates history itself. But once you actually slow down and look at where these ideas come from, piece by piece, the whole sense of ancient continuity starts to look a lot more like a carefully assembled story than something organically preserved over millennia. Take rasa theory, which is basically the emotional backbone of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. You're told these are eternal spiritual relationships with Krishna, servant, friend, parent, lover, deep metaphysical truths about the nature of the soul. But the concept of rasa didn't even start in religion. It comes out of classical Indian theater. It's from a text on drama that just describes how an audience experiences emotion while watching a performance. That's it. Then in the 1500s, this is what I was talking about the other night. Then in the 1500s, Rupa Goswami takes that framework and repurposes it into a theology. Same category, same structure. Just now it's about your eternal relationship with Krishna instead of how you feel watching a play. That's not ancient revelation. It was strategically adapted to create tension and a hook, not much unlike a play or performance. And this history of drama and the divine play goes back a long way and served as a form of entertainment for people back then. These were their versions of some sort of Marvel universe. And pornography. And pornography. Then you've got this whole layer where specific historical people get assigned eternal identities in Krishna's divine soap opera. That comes from a guy named Kavi Karnapura, writing a few decades after Chaitanya disappeared, or more likely died of complications from epilepsy or an accident or a drowning. So Kavi puts out a book and gives a bunch of people in the cult elite status by assigning them an alter ego in Krishna Leela. Rupa Goswami isn't just a theologian anymore, now he's Rupa Manjari. Sanatana is Lavanga Manjari. Jiva is Vilas Manjari. These aren't small details, these are central to how the tradition understands itself. And he goes on, he says, and then there's the mantra itself, which is where the Vedic branding really gets leaned on hard. People assume these mantras are ancient, as if they've been sitting there since the dawn of time, waiting to be handed down. He says the Hare Krishna mantra appears in one suspect later edition of a 16th century Upanishad, not Vedic by a long shot. And he goes on, he talks about the Gayatri. He talks about Radha Krishna's erotic framework. And goes on. He says it's cobbled together within the span of the last 200 to 500 years. He says, at the same time, you've got the Brahma Gayatri, which actually is ancient, but has nothing to do with Krishna. It's a solar sun god mantra from the Rig Veda. And he goes on, he says, and this is an interesting point. He says, and even the initiation structure, the sacred thread. We were talking about this. We were talking about this the other night. Even the initiation structure, the sacred thread, the idea of elevating people to Brahmin status inside the movement. That's not some untouched ancient practice either. That was systematized and later invented by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, a man who had a habit of appointing himself to positions of authority by giving himself sannyas, and very likely, by many accounts, even diksha, from a picture and in visions and dreams, as a way to formalize hierarchy and authority within the group. So now you've got a modern institutional layer sitting on top of a medieval theological system, sitting on top of borrowed aesthetic theory and selectively used Vedic elements. So he goes on and on. He's not on and on, but it's a very in-depth article about how, basically this is a 200 to 500 year old cult started around the time of Chaitanya, maybe a little bit before Chaitanya. Okay, what did I miss here? Who wrote this article? Who wrote this article is on Reddit, the subreddit, the Hare Krishna subreddit, is written by someone named Stay Embarrassed. And it says here, I'll show you, it says how Hare Krishna builds ancient Vedic authority out of a 500-year-old system. So that's what I was saying. So when you put that together with what Knitting Cult Lady is saying about why do people join cults? Because cult leaders build them, and deceptive lying recruiters go out and deceive people and lie to them and get them to join based on lies. Based on these lies. And we heard all of these lies. 5,000-year-old tradition, Vedic, coming down in a sampradaya, unbroken chain of self-realized souls going all the way back to Vyasadeva and Lord Brahma, whatever. Lies. lies. Okay. Let's see. Why do ISKCON girls flirt? Because they're horny. That's why they want a husband. They're looking for a husband, yeah. They're looking for a husband. They're told to be submissive. They've been told they need a husband since they were 12 years old. So, yeah, he gets into the whole. This article is really good. It talks about, and then some other people post and they add to it. So it's really good. But I want to show you something that I found also. That I found on Wikipedia, and I thought it was interesting because I was looking it up, and I was looking up Bhagavatam, and so here it says Wikipedia. I don't know who put this in here, but it says I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was interesting. So it says here it is. It says Bhaktivedanta Swami. It says, Bhaktivedanta Swami significantly impacted the global recognition of the Bhagavat Purana. Bhaktivedanta Swami, raised in a devout Vaishnava family, embraced the Chaitanya tradition in 1932. Between 1962 and 1965, he devoted himself to translating the Bhagavat Purana into English, a departure from earlier works focusing on Chaitanya's life and teachings. While lacking formal traditional education, he was deeply familiar with the teachings of Chaitanya and the insights of ancient commentators through self-study. Self-study. He lacked formal traditional education. So in other words, he was no scholar. He was no scholar. He studied the books himself. Okay, that's what somebody put in the Wikipedia. So I thought that was interesting because I had never looked at that before. So that's even, but they got it right. Prabhupada's he's not a scholar. He's nothing. He's just a failed chemist. He's a failed chemist. But but it shows you how like someone like Gaurahari is doing the same thing. Prabhupada, I mean, all of these guys are faking frauds and phonies. Gaurahari's no different. I keep saying he's no different than all of these guys. Absolutely. Prabhupada wanted to be this guru. And this was his ticket. This was his ticket to gurudom. Because he wasn't qualified to be anything, so he had to make himself. He had to make himself guru. In his own little cult, in his own little Chaitanya Bhakti, in his own little Bhakti Siddhanta cult. And I don't blame his, look, Prabhupada's godbrothers looked at Prabhupada like Prabhupada was Gaurahari. They're like, who are you? Who are you? Writing books and preaching, and now you're going to America. Who are you? Oh, I had a dream. I'm a guru. They're like you were never authorized to be a guru. No one ever told you could be a guru. Oh well, no. Bhaktisiddhanta told me one time. He said, you speak English really well, so you should preach in English. So I'm guru now. And same thing as Gaurahari. Yeah, Gaurahari had a dream. Prabhupada had a feeling. Yeah, he felt it in his gut. It wasn't chutney, but he felt it in his gut. Okay, so what else do I want to get to before I get to let's do it now. Let me see. We're gonna do this now. We're gonna You dream it, then you'll know. You dream it, and then you'll know. You dream it.
I can dance. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
Oh, one more time, Special Ed. What was that?
I can dance. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
You sing it with me, then you'll know. Boom, boom, boom. Yay! Ah! Oh my goodness! One more time. There we go.
So my name is Premarnava Das. I'm from Ireland, and I was born in 1970 and joined to ISKCON in 1991. So going back in my life, I was born in a Christian family in a place called Belfast. And I always believed in God. With my family, we would attend church every week and like that. And
okay, this guy was born in 1971. Born in 1971. Joined in 1991, so he was 20 years old 20 years old. His life, he was just beginning his life, just ready to get going, just ready to start doing whatever he wanted to do. He was just getting ready to start his life. He had his whole life ahead of him. Now, okay, so 1971, he was born. So he's 50. So 2001, he was 50. So he's 50. He's gonna be 55. 55 this year. So here's a guy like me, almost like me. I joined when I was 30 and I left when I was 50. He joined when he was 20. He's still in it. He's 55 years old. Pause, I hope you're not watching. I hope you're not watching, Pause. I don't want you to think that that's what's going to happen to your brother. But this guy joined when he was 20. He's 50 years old. He's been in it for 30 years. Sucked his whole life out of him. His whole life.
I kind of remember all through my life I had some kind of a spiritual calling, you know? And I remember, actually, even when I was a child, I remember being afraid of the big wide world out there, you know? You know, like I would observe my father driving the car and I would wonder, how does he know where to go? It seems all so complicated. And I would see, you know, taking care of a house, paying bills and all this kind of stuff. It just seemed frightening to me, you know? And I didn't want to grow up in this complicated world. Possibly it came from a previous life, or maybe I was some kind of renunciate in the last life or something.
See, he had a magical mystery story. His magical mystery story starts in a previous life. His magic. He's like, man, I don't know. I was a little kid. It must have started when I was in another lifetime. My magical mystery story is so intense. I think I was magical, mystical storying in my previous life was magical and mystical too.
And I had this. I remember one time we were on vacation in the UK, and we came to some beautiful area where there was a lot of lakes, and there was a big monastery in the middle of the lake. So I was hearing about, you know, how these monks live in the monastery and like that. And after seeing that, I was thinking, that's what I'd love to do, you know, run away from the world and stay on some island. And I even had a desire at that point, you know, I'd love to just take a vow of silence and just be disconnected from this world altogether and just worship God, you know. So somehow my parents, they were good in the respect that they were able to instill some kind of faith in God, some kind of devotion. And even I would read at times in my life I was reading the Bible every day, you know, stuff like that. Of course, my life was a little bit contradictory also, you know, like, you know, there was the spiritual or religious aspect, but I also had a desire to do all kinds of nonsense things in my life, you know. And unfortunately, that kind of increased. And
you know, it's really funny. It's funny how they don't realize how everybody has the same goddamn story. Everybody's story is exactly the same. I was a little kid and I had questions and I talked to my dad and he could whatever, and then I was, you know, and when I went to school, and then I was I was fed up with the material world and I was unhappy and I couldn't get any answers and I can't get no satisfaction. I I can't get no satisfaction, man. So somehow I got this book, and when they told me I could become a 12-year-old girl and go to the cow planet and fuck and have sex with Krishna, I was all in. I was all in. I was 12 year. I'm still waiting for my 12-year-old wife. I don't know what happened with that. I'm 51, and they said I could have a 12-year-old wife, and I was 20 when they told me that, and I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I don't know. Oh my God, it's sanity.
The spiritual aspect decreased at a certain point in my life as I was growing up. And I remember even consciously making a decision at one point, because I was a very faithful person, but I had all these other desires, and I made a decision, okay, I'm going to follow this materialistic path for some time, and then I'll come back to that.
No, you didn't. You didn't think that at all, because you weren't saying materialistic. That's something you got out of Prabhupada's book. You weren't thinking that way. You weren't thinking that way. You weren't talking like that. Don't lie.
I remember making a conscious choice, and so then I went like full-fledged into all kinds of material enjoyment and the usual kind of nonsense that youngsters get up to. And I lasted for about 2 years until I could see that this way of life wasn't making me happy, you know. And I was, thinking about it, what alternative. There didn't seem to be any alternative, there was nothing else that really interested me. And I was very attached to my friends who were, bad association, And as long as I was with them, there was no chance of improving. So, and I was in such a bad condition, actually, that devotees used to go out chanting Hare Krishna, Nav Sankirtan on the streets in Belfast where I lived. And I didn't like it somehow, So I was a real demon, And I remember even going into the city with some friends. I remember one conversation particularly, and I was telling my friends, oh, I hope those Hare Krishnas aren't in town today, I don't want to see them, And they were, And I was thinking, oh, why are they doing this, And one of my friends actually said, I think they're chanting this sound, it's meant to have some influence over your mind, And
Your husband, he lives back with his mama now because paying rent is so terrifying, and he's in this kind. Excuse me. That's something.
So when I heard that, I even tried not to hear the chanting, in case it would affect me in some way. But actually, one thing earlier on in my life just came back to my mind was one thing that did open me up a little bit to a broader understanding was there was one program on the television, and it was talking about different religions and people who had some vision of God, testifying to, some vision, some special experience they got. So I was kind of interested in stuff like that. And I watched it. And they had people from Christian families who had some experience, some vision, and some Muslims also, and some Hindus also. And I remember hearing the story, and they even showed a form of Lord Narayan with the 4 arms. I was looking at it, and I was thinking, wow, how to process this? How is God appearing in different traditions? And I just understood, God is doing like this. He's appearing to people in different ways. So I realized there's more, because Christians, they always preach, there's only one way, So I realized, no, there's not. There's more than one way. So that opened me up to a higher understanding. And another incident that happened earlier in my childhood just came back to my mind. was mostly I was taken to church by force, you know. I wasn't really interested to go.
Okay, I got to stop here. That is so funny. When you say it's kindergarten, when you say it's kindergarten is kindergarten, it is so uh, it is so hilarious because when I would go to work, I would go to ITV. I would go to ITV and in the morning. I would start like at 9 o'clock or something, and I would see the devotees, and they were. Now that you mentioned kindergarten, I just can't get this picture out of my head. There, all the brahmacharis and all the devotees that were like in the temple in the morning for Guru Puja and everything, and they come out of the temple on Watsika, and they're all running around. They're running around like doing their some are gonna go here, some are gonna go there, and they look like little kids. They look like little kids running around, going back and forth to the ashram and then back to the temple. Some going to the kitchen, and some running, going over here, going there. And I just flashed on that whole, like little kids playing dress up and running around. And at one point I was too, because I was going to work. I was going to ITV, so I was going that. But seeing them running back and forth across the street, back and forth from the one building to the temple, back to the restaurant, to the kitchen, here and there, sometimes in groups of 2 and 3. And it just looked like it reminds me of like little kids with nothing to do and no responsibility. Like little kids just playing in the street, running here, little kids running here and there. And that's what they are. It's, bad association, bro. This guy is so triggering. I know he's he's got all the cliches down. He's been in it for 30 years. But it's funny that he's been in it for 30 years and he sounds like he's telling the story for the first time. I don't know. Hey, Brandon, I'm glad you're here, man. Glad to see you join in, man. Yeah, nice to have you. Nice to have you here. I got to hear a little bit more of this guy. I know it's tough. I know it's it's triggering.
But one week they had this really heavy preacher. I don't know, anyone who's experienced with born-again Christians, sometimes they're screaming and shouting and this and that. So at one point in his talk, he started asking, what does God want you to do for him? Because usually we think, God should do what I want. I come with my list of things. So that kind of got me, kind of shocked me, Yeah, what does God want me to do for him? And he gives some different options. Maybe he wants you to be a missionary. Maybe he wants you to be a welfare worker, this or that. And it just made sense to me. Of course, God would want me to be a missionary. Wouldn't he want me to spread his word and this and that? And that just stayed in the back of my mind throughout all the nonsense things I was doing, you know. And even I would feel, I was doing all the wrong things, but I was feeling guilty about it. I was feeling bad about it. But in the end, as I was explaining, you know, I found this way of life just wasn't satisfying me, and I was looking for an alternative. So one of my father's friends, he was into some organization called the Holy Grail or something like this. And it was based on the Bible, but it accepted karma and reincarnation. So I thought that was interesting. I was reading the books, and I was actually quite fascinated. And then shortly after, I met some devotees and got Prabhupada's books also. So I was shifting between the two. Actually, just when I first came in contact with ISKCON devotees selling books, just before I developed that further. Well, there was a shopping mall near the office where I used to work. And one day I was on my tea break, and one Indian Mataji was selling Bhagavatam first cantos in the shopping mall. And she came and approached me, and of course I wasn't interested, so I just walked on. And she came.
I feel really bad. All of a sudden, I got this really sad feeling about this guy. Like, I really feel bad for him. Hey, Snoggle, great to see you here, Snoggle. And yeah, I agree. A lot of guys in the Brahmacharya ashram, they look like little kids that are just like, it's just playtime. It's just playtime. It's cosplaying playtime. That's what it is. Yeah, shifting between the Holy Grail and Prabhupada's books. I know. You know, I feel sorry for this guy. I feel sad. I'm sad for this guy. I feel sorry for the guy. I do. I feel like he's been in it for 30 years. He's been in it for 30 years, this guy. And he's just, you know, I want the story to go, and I'm leaving. I've decided to get out. You know, I'm really sad that he's wasting. He's wasted 34 years or 35 years in this cult. 35. And for what? For what?
Him walking after me, you know, and I became angry. I turned around and said, "No, I'm not interested," you know, and I walked off. But actually, where my office was, I could see her from the window of my office. And I was watching her, you know, and I was observing the book, you know, the first canto is so amazing, you know, all the Vaikuntha planets and Radha Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all that. And it just, something about the cover, I just knew there was something special in the book. But I couldn't go back, you know, I felt embarrassed after, you know, becoming angry and that. So then I decided that the next time I meet devotees, I'm going to take a book, you know, and...
So he's been in this... He's been in this for 30 years. 30 years. And I don't know, you know, maybe he tells us, you know, maybe he's in the story, he's going to explain everything, but 30 years, just seems like such a waste of his life for this cult. Like, we know that it's a cult. We know that it's a bunch of pedophiles. We know about the child marriage, and we know that Prabhupada is not this self-realized pure devotee. There's no sampradaya. There's all this. It's all made up. All this stuff, Prabhupada and Bhakti said, all this, It's not. And he's wasted 30 years of his life for this, and he's in it for life. He's gonna be a never-lefter. What's he gonna do? He's got no Social Security or pension or anything. I mean, I don't know how it works in Ireland. I don't know if they just automatically give you money when you turn 65, whether you work or not. That's not how it works in the U.S., but I don't know what they do in Ireland, but I don't know what he's going to live on. I guess he's just going to live in a temple, then that's it. He's going to die in a temple. He's going to die in a temple, and they're going to burn his body down at the Ghat. And that's it. And his family will never hear from him again in Ireland, wherever he lives in Ireland, in Dublin or wherever. And that's it. And I feel sad for that. And he doesn't. He's got no clue. That is what's really sad. Look at him. Look at him. It's sad, man. It is sad.
The first book I got was the Coming Back.
Because of these stupid ass books. You got that stupid ass Coming Back book with the doors on it, where the guy's going out and the guy coming in and death, coming back, dying and coming back. You got that book, and that's what started this whole thing. He yelled at old Mataji, told her, "I'm not interested," and he felt bad. He felt guilty, so he went back and he bought the book. He got the little Coming Back, Coming Back book. That's how it got started. It's sad. Pissing me off. I'm glad you're on it, man. That's what I need. We're all working together. Here.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
You know this guy. Holy shit, he looked familiar the last few minutes. Prema Narvadas from Belfast. I reckon I've met him in his Ross temple in Ireland on a small island, small world. Sad story. He's still into fungus. He's still in the foot smoothie, man. It's sad, man. It is so sad. I got to hear a little bit more, though. I got to hear a little bit more, because...
Yeah. But actually, I did get one before that, one or two before that. But that was the one that had the main effect. So before I got that book, I was reading a couple of Prabhupada's books, along with this other, this Holy Grail book, whatever it was. So I couldn't choose between the two paths. But this one path was saying, how to get free from your karma. And their philosophy was you just undergo all the sinful reactions and get purified, and you keep your consciousness as pure as you can. But it seemed kind of impractical, because, if you want to endure all your bad karma, it means you'll have to...
What's more practical is drinking a foot fungus smoothie. That's more practical, right? Like, he rejected like the other way, and accepted the foot fungus smoothie way. It's freaking insanity, man. It's insanity.
For like anything, And to keep the consciousness artificially pure is also difficult, because the mind's always going.
I mean, if somebody said, where's my thing? Come on, man. There we go. If somebody told me, said, hey, there's two ways you can get rid of your karma, man. It's like, hey, Mike, there's two ways. Hey, guys, there's two ways you can get rid of your karma. You can drink this foot fungus smoothie from this guru over here, or, you can just kind of keep it inside and kind of work it out, through your own good deeds and whatever, and, do it like that. which one you want? I would be like, foot fungus smoothie, or I can just like kind of work it out. I think I'll work it out on my own. I think I'll just I'll just work it out on my own, man. I don't know. I don't need the foot fungus. What the fuck?
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I know. It's like, hey, is there a religion where I don't have to drink a guy's foot water? Hey, how about that? How about that religion? Can I get that religion? He's still continuing his cross-dressing Bengali porno move. Oh my God, it's like a Renaissance fair for cross-dressing Indians, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. A kinky humiliation ritual. Oh man. It's too funny. I gotta hear some more.
Here and there. So then reading Prabhupada's books, it was practical. There's a process to purify your consciousness and to get free from your bad karma. You know, it just made so much more sense. So then I diverted into Prabhupada.
It made so much more sense. It made so much more sense if I just drink this foot water. If I drink this foot water.
Prabhupada's books. And then when I read the Coming Back, every single thing in that book I just knew it was true. You know, that was the one that really got me, and I knew I had to act on this knowledge, especially the parts of the book that were quoting Prabhupada, you know, because that book's compiled by Prabhupada's disciples, and quotes of Prabhupada from Bhagavatam and for some lectures, and also the stories, the story of King Chitraketu, Ajamil, and Maharaj Bharatrai.
What in
So I
God's
was
holy name are you
fascinated by
blathering
those
about?
stories also. And then there was one picture that also affected me. It was telling how, you know, if we eat all kinds of nonsense like non-veg and that, you know, we'll get a lower birth in the next life. So it showed a man eating some meat, some non-veg, and it showed the next picture was a picture of a pig. And I realized by looking at that picture, I thought, oh my God,
got you, huh?
that's...
Wow, that was how, you know, and
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
so, you know, it really got him when he saw the guy eating. He saw the guy eating like some pork ribs or something, and then he turned the page. Oh my God, he turned the page, and the guy became a pig. Oh my God! And I mean, we know what he's talking about. We've all seen. We all know what he's talking about. The pictures in the Bhagavad Gita or the pictures in the Bhagavatam. We know what he's talking about. But now that we're out of the cult, it seems so culty. It seems so nonsensical and culty. But to hear him, yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. I'm not. The pics play a powerful part. Absolutely. The pictures play a very powerful part. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, now that we know how it works, how the pictures and the verses and the whole machine working, but we can see how ridiculous it is. But like if you just showed a person eating a burger, and then you go, look, then you're going to become a pig. A person would just be like, I would get out of here. But if you put it all together with, you know, I'm in a robe and a shaved head, and I'm acting like a holy man, and I got this Bhagavad Gita, and I'm showing you the picture. Yes, it's much more powerful. And that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Is that seeing a picture of a guy eating a rib, and then he becomes a pig, in the normal world, it makes no big difference. But when you put it in the context of this cult, it's like, yeah, that's what got him. That's what's got him, and that's what's funny. That's what, I mean, it's not funny. It's sad. Like I was saying before, it's really sad. It's really sad that this guy got suckered into this cult, into a pedophile cult. He has no idea. He's been in it for 30 years, 35 years. 35 years in this cult. 35 years in this cult. Can't figure it out. And just stuck in it and just floundering away, just floundering away. Yeah, it's okay. So now I want to show you. Got a couple things I want to show you that are kind of fun. Let's see. So I did this one. We'll save that one. Let's look at this. Look. So this is the guy. I think Rafael sent this in. I'm not sure if Rafael sent this or if I just found it. I get confused. But like I was saying, all they do is get worshipped all day long, 24 hours a day. Every time he gets up and takes a shit. He got to throw some flowers and wash his feet. And he comes back in from taking a shit. Oh, let's bow down and touch his feet and throw him on. And then when he goes in, he's like, "Hey, can I have some water?" "Oh my goodness, Gurudev wants some water." "Oh, Jai Prabhupada, here's your water, Gurudev." "Okay, thank you." "Oh, Sri Vishnu," and throw some more flowers. And then do this. That's all they do. Every friggin', I mean, Rafael knows. He'll tell you. Rafael will tell you. Rafael's going to go, "Yeah, that's right. He's constantly being worshipped." I mean, Rafael just followed around just so he could worship him. "Oh, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj. Oh, yeah, Maharaj. Okay, Guru. Yeah." That was Rafael's job, was to just follow him around, making sure that at least one person would recognize that he was a guru. Because he can't go 5 minutes, can't go 5 seconds without somebody doing this. I gotta lay down. Oh my God, there he is. I gotta get down. Let me get down on the ground. Wait. Oh, there I go. Let me get down. Let me get down and touch his feet. Look at him. He's just like, oh, what a fucking idiot. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, give me some more flowers. Yep.
Hare Krishna. Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I mean, seriously, what has this guy ever done? What has this guy ever done to deserve this? What has he ever fucking done to deserve this kind of worship and praise? It's insanity. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. It's insane. It's insanity, man. I'm telling you.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
It's super white Hindu. White super Hindu time. It's white super Hindu time. White super Hindu time. Let's all get down on the ground, 'cause it's white super Hindu time. Let's throw some flowers in the air. Yeah. Yeah, you said that one. Yeah, I because I get you send me videos, and as I'm watching your videos, other videos are popping up, and I can't keep track. It's so funny. Oh yeah, I don't know about that. I guess I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, white super Hindu time. It's white super Hindu time. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Let's all worship the white super Hindu time. Da 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 da. It's crazy. That's crazy. Look at. Wait. Let me see. This is gonna be a good one.
I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay. I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
I can dance. I can dance. You know these guys, huh? Notice the guy in the white dhoti, all the bags and animal skin in hand for Ghost Ananda to stand on. That would be I was gonna, I was just thinking, like, which one were you? Let me go back. Which one were you? Let's see, which one are you? The guy with all the bags. This guy right there in the white dhoti in the front. So that was you right there. That's your replacement. That's your replacement. Oh man, that's so funny. That is, it's really great, Rafael, that you got out of that. You were so close to him. You were so into it, and you were able to get out. It's not only were you able to get out, but you found my channel, and now we're hanging out and we're having a lot of fun. And that's really the great thing about it. That's what's really great about it, is that not only did we all get out, but now we're able to all get together and have fun. And we're like alumni. we're like, really, it's great. I love it. It's really great. Right, we're going empty. Yeah.
I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
Yay! I'm in Vrindavan. Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's going. It's like he's going to the. It's like he's going to the. It's like he's arriving to the Academy Awards. He's got a whole entourage with him. They're taking pictures, throwing flowers. They got his little. They got. Yeah, it's. You think that and all the black devotees and the women devotees got to sit there and listen to this shit. They got to sit there and listen to this shit. They got to sit there and listen. Yeah, I know. It's so funny. I know. Boom, 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 boom. I can dance. I just love it. It's so funny. It fits so well.
I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
Yay! Yay! Joy! I can dance. Joy! Boom, 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 boom. You do it, then you'll know. Joy! It's so. It is. It's a bunch of slaves. It's a bunch of just masters and slaves. It's gurus and slaves, gurus and servants, and they just. It's a guru. I know. It's a Guru Palooza, Guru Academy Awards. I know. And he's all walking. He's walking all like he's important. Like he's so important. Like he's so important, man. Like he's busy. Like I'm busy. Like I'm busy. I got. Like, get out of my way. I gotta get going. What are you doing? I'm in a hurry. Look, I got big steps. I gotta go quick. I gotta go. I gotta go check in my reservation. I gotta go. I got reservations. Yeah. Hey, I'm Gumby. Damn it! Don't you know who I am? I'm Gumby. I want to speak with the manager. He looks like he wants to speak with the manager. Can I speak with the manager? I want to speak with the manager. Oh.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh my God. He's busy scamming. I know he's busy scamming. He's busy scamming. Yeah. He's like, he's gonna wait. He goes, the nominees for best scammer in a leading role is Bhakti Swami for I'm scamming for Gurupalooza. It's so fucking hilarious. It's so fucking hilarious. Okay, so we did this guy. Okay, I want to show you a little bit of this. This is I got this queued up and I don't know. No, shut up.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at this. I don't know why I got this queued up, but okay, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me turn up the volume here. Pump up the volume.
A daily duty of proselytizing and fundraising.
They had teams of devotees that would go out every single day and make maybe $300 to $400, $500 a day.
Some devotees worked crowds at big city airports.
Okay, I'll give you one more.
Others endured grueling weeks of travel from small town to small town.
I remember being in a van and having, sleeping in the van and then having to go and take a shower in a gas station, like just with a bucket of water and, something with a drain.
For those who are the renunciates, who were the leaders, distributing Prabhupada's books and this missionary activity was the central activity. That was the activity of the movement at that particular time.
The leaders wanted to segregate the children from the parents so that the parents could work full time.
And so suddenly an institution...
So the parents could work full time. It's exactly what they wanted. They wanted the parents to work full time. They wanted to put these kids go into school. The kids can go into school and the parents can work full time. Okay. And speaking of kids working full time in the school, because they're not learning anything. Oops. I think there's a problem here. Hold on.
Welcome to our beautiful small Gurukul. Here we start our days super early at 4:30 a.m.
Looks like fun. Can you imagine being a little kid, got to get up at 4:30 in the morning, every morning. Every morning you're getting up at 4:30. 4:30 every morning. Man, I didn't like getting up at like 7 o'clock going to school. I had to get up at 4:30. 4:30 in the morning.
Some of us are still a bit sleepy, but a nice cool bath wakes us right up.
So I got to get up at 4:30. These little kids got to get up at 4:30 in the morning and then take a cold bath. And they got to take a cold bath, a cold shower. Then we got to work. Then we go to work. We got to work. We get up at we get up at 4:30 in the morning. We take a cold bath and then we got to mop the floor and we got to work. We got to go to work,
That's Pranav. He's probably the most obedient and favorite student of the teachers. He never gets into any fights or conflicts. I hope I could say the same for myself. But I guess not all 5 fingers of a hand are the same. And that's Ghanshyam. He's almost near Mayapur in West Bengal.
Scribe is how 4 million people turn processes into step-by-step guides.
He's clever and knows when to do what. This is Krishnada, Krishna Chaitanya. He is the son of Tulsiram Prabhu, our headmaster.
He's the one that abuses us every day. He's the one that. Oh my God, this is so sad. This is like one of the saddest videos I've ever seen.
A strong sense of responsibility, and he is the most hardworking amongst us all. Hurry, or you will be late for the Mangalarti.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
So sad, so disturbing. So disturbing. It is so sad. This is a really sad episode of Good Rice tonight, because the Irish guy was really sad, and Gaurahari being a disciple of Tamal Krishna is really sad, and this is really sad. This is I want to. What else do you guys do? Do you do anything else? Oh, we get on the floor. We lay down on the floor. We do that a lot.
After the Mangalarti, we settle down for 1 hour mantra meditation. This is a special time where we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra together.
This is our special indoctrination time right here.
As we chant, the sun slowly rises and allows us to start our day.
Uh-oh, I wonder what that means.
This is our present Gurukul campus, but we are soon planning on shifting to a more natural spot near a river. We can't wait to get there. It will be amazing to be surrounded by even more of nature's beauty.
Now we go to work.
This is Purushottam, and he isn't as innocent as he looks. After our peaceful mantra meditation, it's time to refuel. Yay, milk and walnuts!
Milk and walnuts.
Cow's milk is packed with essential nutrients like calcium, protein and vitamins that support our healthy growth and brain development.
Brain development.
Although
they want to develop their brain. They think that if they eat the right kind of food or something, it's going to develop their brain. With the semen and the hot milk, I'm telling you, it's semen and hot milk.
Please enjoy our exercise session. We know that it's essential for us to grow stronger, smarter and healthier. Okay, now get moving. Tulsiram Prabhu has served in the Indian Army for 17 years and is now retired. He is strict, but he showers us.
Oh God, that's abuse. That's abuse. That's a recipe for abuse right there. You got a guy from the army, out there with these kids. He's probably treating them like they're in the army. Oh my God, this is like a recipe for disaster. This is a recipe for disaster. I know, it's just crazy. It's like they put these videos out, and they don't think, nobody sees these things except me. I mean, they put out these hostage videos. They put out these videos showing how they abuse their kids. They're like, look, we're being abused. Army trains not for kids. I know, it's army training. It's insanity. It's insanity. It really is, man. No, what a joy. What a joy to live in the 16th century, medieval India. I mean, it's fucking insanity. Prabhupada was insane. I'm telling you, Prabhupada was insane. He was insane. He was insane.
With lots of love. He guides us with a firm hand, but his heart is full of kindness. We respect him a lot because we know he's always
he's gonna beat us if we get out of line. I know, that's what they're saying.
looking out for us.
He's got them training like they're friggin'. He's got them training like they're in the army. I getting pumped up for their guru daddy. He's training them like they're in the army, man. They're little kids. They're little kids. It's like insanity.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Things have gotten pretty expensive lately. I need to generate some additional income.
I found data annotation. I can work from my phone.
Okay, let me explain what's going on, okay? Look, they're not in public school. They have their own little school, so they don't get PE. So they're not getting, this is their PE. Their PE time is he takes them out and treats them like they're, like they just got drafted into the army. They got drafted into the army. They're doing physical training, like they're recruits, because they don't have, like when my daughter was at the LA Temple when she was in the school, they didn't have PE, right? Because they were it's just in an apartment building. There's no playground, there's no track and field, there's no bars to climb on, there's no grass. The only grass was the grass in front of the temple. So kids need PE, right? They need like an hour of PE every day. So the LA Temple didn't have that. They didn't have that facility. They didn't have. What are they going to do? So Jagadambika would take the kids and she'd load them up in the car, and she'd take them to the park, or she'd take them on a hike, or she'd do something with them. They'd go for a walk around the block, around the temple, around the neighborhood, or she'd take them to the park and they could play on the apparatus at the park, or she would take them somewhere so that they could have some physical activity and they weren't just sitting in the room. Or she would have this guy come, this physical training guy come, and he would set up like gymnastics stuff on the grass in front of the temple, and the kids would like trampoline and tumble, and they would get their physical exercise that way. So that's what they're trying to do here, because they don't have any kind of physical. There's no cricket thing. There's no basketball court. There's no volleyball court. There's no anything where they can go and do any kind of PE.
Now it's time for memorizing Sanskrit shlokas.
Now we're going to memorize.
That's Krishna Sudama Prabhu behind the camera. He's our teacher, and he is very kind and lenient with us. All the kids love him. He also operates a YouTube channel called Brave Value Education. Do check it out after this. And now...
And what's sad is probably half of those kids probably don't even belong there. They're probably they got put in there because their parents want to go play Hare Krishna. Those kids probably don't even, that's not, they didn't sign up. None of those kids signed up for that. Not one of those kids signed up for that. They got put in there like punishment, but they didn't do anything. I know they need a soccer field, a football field. They need basketball. They need something. They need to play. They need to do something. A swimming pool. Right, they need something. Running around and doing jumping jacks and running around, marching around like that, that's not fun for them. They need to play and have fun. and have a team and do play a sport, play a game. That's what they need to do. They need to learn how to, but they don't care because that's all Maya anyway. They don't play sports. They play wrestling. They play the games that what did Prabhupada says, you know, where they can play. Some of the kids can be cows and some of the kids can be cowherd boys. And in that way they can play. That's a fucking, get out of here, man. Prabhupada, you gotta be the fucking dumbest fucker on the planet. You think that's what little kids want to do? Hey, how you doing? Glad you made it right under the wire, man. You're right under the wire. You got to watch on the replay. It's been a good show and a lot of fun. It's been kind of sad. We've shed some tears tonight. Hey, Eliana, I hope your dad's doing good, and tell him I said hi. Tell your dad Mike says hi. Yeah, they need something. These kids, it's just so sad. It's been really sad. We had a devotee that was sad, and these kids are sad. I mean, hey, and I answered your question about how I got into comedy, so you can watch that. That question's answered. Gunga Prabhu. Yeah, I don't trust any of these guys. I just don't. Who are they? Where did they get trained? When did they get a degree in child development or child services or educational development or a teaching credential? Do they have a teaching credential? Are they even qualified to be a teacher's assistant? You know, even in the U.S., just to be a preschool teacher, you got to get a certificate. You can't be around kids without some kind of training. They don't just let anybody go be hanging around kids at school like kids can, you know, common sense. I mean, a lot of people shouldn't even be parents. What to speak of be teachers? A lot of people can't even take care of their own kids. And then you're going to put someone who can't take care of their own kid, make them a teacher? Or a person that doesn't even like kids? And you just stick them in there because it's their service? Well, Prabhu, you got to go teach the kids today. That's insanity. Yeah, check out the replay. It's a good one, man. It's a good one. No, yeah, they have no business being around kids like that. None, absolutely. And nobody should be putting their kids in this place. Nobody should be putting their kids in there. Any parent is putting their kids in an ISKCON school, me included, because I shouldn't have put my daughter in there, but I did. But I shouldn't have put my daughter. They're out of your mind. Out of your friggin' mind. And I'm sorry. You got to have knowing what happened at the ISKCON schools, and you still put your kid in there. You got to have so much faith. You got to just have so much faith that nothing's going to happen. You got to be overflowing with faith. You got to have a fucking tanker full of faith, because it's just it's to think that nothing's going to happen to your kid. Like I thought nothing was going to happen. I didn't think anything would happen. I just could not believe that something happened to my daughter. I mean, and to stick your kid in a school and then bounce off, just stick them in there, like they're like you're putting your dog in a kennel and going on vacation for 6 months. That's insane. That is insane. And people are still doing it today. They're still doing it today.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Okay, so I'm going to finish up with this one. I saw this. I don't know if Tim sent this in or if this was one of these things that popped up. I think I noticed it because it says Harvard School, Divinity School, Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, Bhakti-yoga Conference, Genevieve Harrison. I think that's Bhagavan's granddaughter or somebody. I'm not sure who that is, but
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Namaste. Welcome to Bhakti Yoga Conference 2026, Sacred Community, Walking the Path of Love Together. I'm Happy Jack, the founder of Happy Jack Yoga.
walking the path of love. When you know good and well there is no love. There is no love in the Hare Krishnas. There just isn't any. And nobody's happy. There's no happy Jack. And you're not happy, Jack. You're just not.
And our host for today. And this is our second annual gathering, bringing together over 40 monks and scholars and musicians, chaplains.
It's white super Hindus. Is Creepy Moya's daughter. That's who it is. Yeah, that's who it is. It's Creepy Moya's daughter. I knew there was a reason. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew there was a reason why it popped up, or somebody sent it to me. Yeah, that's
chaplains and spiritual leaders from around the world. We open the conference live at Harvard Divinity School, and we'll have our closing gathering at Oxford Center for Hindu Studies. Really together we're exploring how devotion and spiritual community support us on the path of Bhakti Yoga. As of now, over 6,000 beautiful souls have registered for the conference, including Harvard students, practitioners of Bhakti, yoga teachers, spiritual seekers, really from around the world.
And it's a cult, and you're a cult, and you're a cult just like Children of God. And Children of God, like Knitting Cult Lady said, Children of God performed at the White House. They went to the Philippines and performed in front of Marcos. They performed in front of the president of Brazil. They traveled all around the world performing, putting on shows, preaching. And a straight up pedophile cult. Straight up pedophile cult. She said in the other show they were allowed to have sex when they were 16 years old. All the kids could have sex at 16, and the adults were having sex with the kids before that. And they were able to pull it off and pretend like they were not a cult, they were some church thing, and they had this whole front scam. Meanwhile, it's a pedophile cult, but nobody knew because they were just, hey, it's the Children of God. And this is no different. God damn it, it's no different. Bhakti Yoga Center, getting degrees from Harvard, trying to act all, we're not a cult, we're this and that. We can go to the UN and we can have a Bhakti Yoga conference.
If you'd like, please share a message in the chat. Let us know where you're calling in from. And really, wherever you're calling in from, thank you for being a part of this global Sangha. It's now our honor to welcome to the virtual stage our speakers today. Please welcome Kula Pradeepa Prabhu and Genevieve Harrison. It's such an honor to have you. I'll read a little bio and then we'll bring them on to engage. So for those who don't know, Genevieve Harrison is a musician, a writer, an artist, and practitioner of Bhakti Yoga. She spent her formative years at Bhaktivedanta Manor in England in a rich environment where mantra chanting and sacred art were part of everyday life.
And little kids were molested. There goes the Harvard neighborhood. Absolutely. I mean,
with a background in Western and Eastern classical music and dance, she has tried to pursue a path of self-realization and service through artistic expression. For nearly 20 years, she's offered her voice and violin playing in the performance of original spiritual music and mantra kirtan in diverse venues all around the world. She aspires to create art and facilitate experiences which heal, which uplift, and nourish the spirit. Now based in California, she regularly leads live gatherings, sound bath experiences, concerts, and retreats. Over the years, Jahnavi has collaborated regularly with artists such as Deva Premal and Mitten, Jai Uttal, Krishna Das, Snata.
It's a scam. It's all a scam. These people are scammers. She's a scammer. He's a scammer. And Happy Jackoff is a scammer. They're all scammers. They're all scammers. And all I can say to all three of them,
just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
Oh. The other Harrison sister is married to Nam Ross, podcaster. Oh, that guy. Okay. He looks like your sugar daddy. Oh, it's a weird kind of look. They're in the cult because they found a place of praise and are artists. How could they ever open their eyes? Oh man. Well, you never know, but you never know, man. But that is just that to me is. But that's who she. That's Kripa Moya's daughter. Okay, so I get that. I get that now. Wow, we've gone 2.5 hours already. Just walk away. Just walk away.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
So, full of ego and narcissism. I know the Kirtanias very well. They're all pretty much the same. Yeah, I've seen her around, and I didn't know. I wasn't sure who she was. I kept seeing her, like the videos pop up, and it says Jahnavi Harrison, and I just ignore it because I didn't know it was. And then I got this one, and I was like, oh, that's what is this? Bhakti Center or the Bhakti-yoga Center or something? I recognize that. So I think I'm going to call it quits here, guys. This was a lot of fun. Great episode of The Good Rice. I want to thank everybody for joining in today. Ghana and Duke of Squirrels and Rafal, my producer, and Eliana, the moderator, and Tim. And Tim sending all these great videos. I got a lot of videos from Tim that we haven't got to yet, and I got to get to some of those. And Fake Human and Ghana again, and everybody, and Lochan stopped by, and Jolyn, and we had a couple trolls popped in here, and of course, and let's see who else. Snoggle, of course, can't forget Snoggle, and Prabhu Nuts, so that's Duke of Squirrels, Duke of Squirrels, and what we got, and Brandon stopped by. Good to see you in here, Brandon. And if I forgot your name, AJ, thanks for stopping in here, AJ. Good to see you. And man, I'm just so happy. Jenna Morton, good to see you in here. And everybody, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, man. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun. All my new friends, where we all get together, and it just makes everything. And Miss Jade, of course, Jade 77. Who am I forgetting? Anybody? Am I forgetting anybody? I don't know. If I'm forgetting you, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. But I think that's it. Chosen One. Got Chosen One. Thanks for coming in here, Chosen One. And the trolls. And Trey Martin. Of course, Trey Martin was here. Good to see you. So everybody, thanks again. We're going to do this again real soon. I'll do this again real soon. And let me see what I got. Do I got a sound at the end for this?
I can't take anymore. I've had it with you.
Okay, can't take any more. But before I leave you, I just want to say, everybody, thanks for joining in. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and leave a comment if you can. And then everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. If you're hungry, have a great brunch. Have some great luck. Everybody, please stay out of a cult. If you're in a cult, try and get out of it. And here I am, a long time ago when I was once a Hare Krishna. Thanks, everybody.
I can dance. Boop, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boop, boop,